are going to go since I'm putting tubes in them. And hopefully I don't do it then. And well, believe it or not, you know, this thing works. It's pretty much concrete, and I would highly, where both of them were really shot whenever. This one's sticking out here. I will see you all in the next one. Well, one of these tires on the Cub here, I think it's this one on this side, I was pulling the trailer and all of a sudden the tire goes flat and the whole tractor is leaning on its side. So we're going to be putting some new tires on the Cub in this video. So I'm going to be using this Harbor Freight tire changer. It's the large one that they have. And I'm going to be changing out the two rear tires on the Cub. These are 2-ply tires. And I'm going to be putting 4 plies on plus inner tubes also. So I shouldn't have to do anything to these tires for a very long time. So this piece here goes around inside one of the holes for the lug nuts to keep the tire from moving, and then this goes on top, and then this clamps down on everything. It's been a while since I've used this thing. And this is the portable tire changer. By Pittsburgh Automotive. Item number 69686. It's a 2017. So it has a couple adjustments here. This is for the bead breaker, to break the bead. And you put the tire in here, and you push down on here with the handle over here, which has a couple different ends on it. If I remember correctly, is it this end? This end is used to put the, you can tighten this thing, by this thing goes in here, tighten it. And I think you can pull the tires off the beads with this, pull the old ones off, and I think that both of these ends are to put the new tires on. Don't quote me on that, but that's my understanding of this thing. So I've got this thing bolted to the concrete here. I apologize if the lighting isn't the greatest. There's no electricity that goes to this building, so. But I'm just gonna put the tires up on here and start working. Well, actually, I'm gonna break the beads first. And these tires are filled with, there's no calcium or anything in them. Actually, I should put some calcium in them. That'd be sweet. But I have a bottle or two of Fix-A-Flat in each of these, and these tires are in pretty bad shape. They're really dry rotted, and you can even see here some of the stuff is coming out of them. But these are Goodyears. Yep, Goodyear. And if you watch One Lonely Farmer's channel, he calls these good for 1 year. And they're 23, 10.5, 12, a 2-ply rating, and I have 2 of them. So we're going to put the tire, lift this thing up, put the tire and rim right there. And since these are the big tires, I'm going to have to do some adjusting here. So this is on the highest setting. As well as the furthest one out, which I think is going to be where it should be at. I've only used this thing a few times, but I'll tell you, after about the first time that I use this, it pays for itself. So it is worth having, and I am glad I've got it. So we're going to put this piece of steel in here and push down. And I have not done this to these tires whatsoever, before this, so you guys are seeing this exactly how I am. Oh, that side's off already. And then we flip it over. And then we do the other side. You try to put this piece right up against the rim and hold down on this side and push. So that was pretty effortless. Again, these are only the 2-ply tires, so they're not that difficult to bend and stuff. We unscrew this thing. Pull that off. Pull this piece off here. And we lift our tire up. Just like that. And of course we have to get that little piece in. This little valve piece or whatever. Just like that. That piece sticking out there, and we put that on. And then this thing gets screwed on like so. Then you take the end of this thing here and you tighten it. Oh, and just so you know, don't put your hand over top of this while you're turning. I took out a huge hunk of skin in here because this is a pinch point. I should have known better, but you just tighten this thing down until she's good and tight. And then I think I'm going to use this end, maybe. No, we're going to use the pointy end. And you make sure the tire goes down here. And then there's one. So, I mean, it's not too difficult doing this with these tires, at least. Oh, man. This thing is all full of the Fix-A-Flat. I think that's what it is. I think that's what I put in here. Because these tires did have a slow leak to them. So here you just keep working the tires off the bead. So just like that, I got the 2 old tires off both rims. I'm going to pressure wash these rims. These things have had Fix-A-Flat and red slime, I guess. I don't even know they made red slime. I'm not entirely sure exactly what that is, but I know I put a can or 2 of Fix-A-Flat in. So the valve stems are going to go since I'm putting tubes in, and I'm just going to clean both rims and tires. And believe it or not, we have people around here that will take both of those tires and they'll be gone within, I don't know, a day or 2. I had the tires for the Gravely out there, and it took them a while to take the old ones, but I'm going to put these ones out here, clean them again, pressure wash both rims, and then we will go from there. I've gotten both rims cleaned up, and I've got the 2 inner tubes in there, so I'm going to put the, let's see, tire around it first, and then I'll stuff the inner tube in there, and then I'll inflate them, and hopefully I don't puncture the inner tubes. I've done, I put inner tubes in tires before, and I seem to always puncture at least one of them, so hopefully I will not puncture these inner tubes. I just removed the valve stem on the one, and I still have to do that on the other. So here I'm just working the tires on and putting the inner tubes in. I'm also airing them up and checking for leaks, etc. And I did not puncture either inner tube, and I am very happy about that. Could not have gone any better. Although I did lose the valve stem in this one, so I take that back. I guess it could have gone a little bit better. So there you have it. I put the 2 new tires on these rims for this is for a Cub Cadet 582 Special. These are the 2 rears. I blew out one of the old tires doing the wheelies in a video or 2 ago. And I knew I needed new tires anyways, and I just happened to do it then, and I figured, well, now's the time to buy some new ones. So these beads are working themselves on. I poured some soap down in here, and I actually should have just used soap the whole way around here to do this. And this valve stem here is a little crooked, so I'm hoping, I only have about 10 psi in these right now, and I might put like 15 or something in them. But the ride's probably going to be stiffer on these tires than on the other ones, since these are 4 and the old ones were 2. And one other thing that I wanted to mention, believe it or not, by the time I got back to making this clip, for this, finishing up this video, I put the old tires out on the road. Well, not on the road, but on the side of the road. And believe it or not, they are gone. Someone's taken them already. Like I didn't even get the new tires put on before someone already took the old ones. So surprise, surprise, I guess. But these ones seem to be good. These are core stone. 23, 10.5, 12. So these are some pretty big tires, and these are probably about the biggest tires that you could use for this Harbor Freight tire changer. And this thing worked as pretty much as good as it could, and I am pretty happy with it so far. It's, by the time you go pay someone to do this, so you pull the tires off of the machine or whatever, and take the old ones and the rims over to a tire place for them to deal with them, for them to pull the rims off, and sometimes they'll do it right then and there, but usually they don't. And it's just, you have to drive there, load them up, drive there, come back, and then wait for them to call you, and then go there again, pick them up, and bring them home. And I did this in an afternoon in one day. Didn't have to call anybody or anything, and didn't have to take them anywhere. All I had to do was go from one building to this one where my tire changer is bolted to the concrete. And I would highly recommend anyone that is putting this tire changer in, bolt it to concrete, bolt it to some sort of something that will not move to use it. These are 1/2 inch, 4 of them, 4 bolts holding this down. And assembly was pretty easy for this thing, not difficult at all. But this is actually the second time I've used this thing. The first one, actually I'll pan around here for you. the first one was to put the tires on the front of the Alice, and it worked fine for those because the front tires were, both of them were really shot whenever I got it. So, but this tire changer, you know, I'm now into making profit with this thing. Well, not really profit, but you know, it's paid for itself by me just doing the Alice over there, and now doing the Cubs tires, and I am very pleased with this. You know, this thing, it does exactly what I want it to do, and as advertised. Actually, I think I have 4 or 5. I have 5 bolts. They're big 1/2 inch. I think they're 4.5 inch long bolts going down into the concrete, and I actually drilled the entire way through the concrete doing this. And this tire changer, it doesn't move at all, and we can still use the stalls and stuff in here, and this one's for the backhoe. So I think that is pretty much all I have to say for this video, but I'll tell you what, 2 thumbs up. I am very happy with this tire changer. Granted, it's not as good as a, you know, one that for the machine that does it for you. However, for the backyard guy and the do-it-yourselfer, you really can't beat this thing. And there's the second one. As you can see here, I am putting the finish airing the tires up, and I'm also putting my chains back on. The chains were a little bit of a little difficult to put on, but not too terribly bad. Here I broke one of the links for the inside of the chain, and to put the 2 ends of the chain together, I actually just used a nail, and of course the nail, and I bent it over so it's not hitting the tire, but I'm just bolting up the tires onto the Cub here, and this thing looks pretty good. So there you go, new tires put on the Cub, and it seems that all the beads have seated as far as I can tell, which I am very pleased about. These are supposedly tubeless tires. Oh, nope, I lied. This one's sticking out here. So I'm hoping with use that these things the beads will seat themselves. Other than that one side, I think all the rest of them are seated. And yeah, this tractor looks pretty good with some new tires on it. And I chose the turf tires over the Ags, one for price. I think the Ags were another 40 bucks more, and plus I already have the chains, so. And I think the chains dig better than the Ags, because the Ags go in a V formation, and then the chains here are like paddles. That's the best way that I can describe it, but they really dig too, so. Well, there you go. Pretty sweet, and I am really happy that these tires are done. So, hope everyone enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more, and hopefully I will see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.